What's up, people? John here from JJSC Tech, and I sound a little different today because I'm using this different mic. I'm using the Rode NT1, and I have set it up, and let me know if it sounds good, if I should go back to the U87, which I will be. I'll just be going back and forth depending on how this sounds online. One thing I learned, for those who are listening on YouTube, make sure you have stable audio off. So if you go to the Gearbox on YouTube,
now you only need one subscription instead of...
All right. Commercials. If you go to a Gearbox in YouTube, make sure you click that, and at the top you should see something called stable audio. Turn that off. What that's gonna do is it's going to do. I can't even talk. YouTube is going to use some algorithms to manipulate your audio, make it loud or make it quiet, and etc. And it's gonna completely mess up your listening experience. So yeah, just make sure that's off. And this microphone should then sound a bit normal. It shouldn't sound so crazy. All right, get that out the way. All right, so yes, I have learned a thing or two when it comes to online broadcast mixing. So the church that I'm working with right now, they have, the live stream front of house engineer, not the live stream, the front of house engineer, he changed up some things. So when he changed up some inputs and etc., he had to change some things on the Dante as well as the DAW. What I've learned, because some things were messed up and the audio was all over the place, is if you have a bass guitar and you have drums, like with the kick, you need to set those at a certain frequency so the bass guitar can come through and the drum kick can come through as well. Because most of the time, those two things, the kick and the bass, are on the same frequency. So usually they cancel out each other. So what you want to do is probably take out some of the kick and add some of the mids and highs in the bass so the bass can come through. I'll show you what that looks, or show you what that sounds like. Let me go to trusty old Logic, full screen. Kaboom. All right. So this is familiar. This is very familiar. This is Logic right here. Hopefully you guys can hear it. So that's just coming through the stereo mix. Do I want it to come through the stereo mix? No. So I'm gonna change that output to 21 and 22, which should be my DAW. How's that sound online? How does that sound online? Is it doubling? Hopefully not. Let me check real quick. It should be fine. Let me check real quick. Let me check real quick. Hopefully that audio isn't doubling or it doesn't sound weird. Remember, if you're on YouTube, turn off that audio feature. You click the gear. And
Sup, peoples?
You click stable volume. Turn that off. Make sure stable volume is off. Let me make sure on my phone once more. If I put it to that setting, it's not weird. Okay. Okay, good. All right, good to go. All right, so my settings are fine. Boom. You should be able to hear that properly. All right, so the thing is with this, it's hard to hear the kick and it's hard to hear the bass. The kick and the bass are kind of fighting. That's because if I go to the bass now, where's the bass, strings, right here, and I click on the SSL, and I look at the lows. If I look at the lows, which is right here, can I click FN? Yes, sir. All right, so SSL it kind of looks confusing, but it's really not. What this really is saying, low mid frequencies, and this is saying LF as low frequency. So as you see, the low frequency is like 250 or 241, as you see right there, it just popped up. and it is at a -2. So that's the bass. Now, if I go to the kick, which is this, and I go to the lows again, 225, and it's at -3. So they're kind of around the same area, competing with each other. So that's why it's kind of hard to hear both of them. So what you kind of want to do is, hold on, because I just discovered this as well. I'm telling you, I'm not a sound guy, but whatever I discover, I'm going to share it with you guys. So let me pull up my other session that I edited. It's hot. All right, so this was from like yesterday. Don't close. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. So if I just click X, bam, it pulls up all of those things right there. We can mute the vocals because we don't need to hear that. Let's go right here. Okay, that's all. That's wrong. Don't close. Okay, that's fine. What? Am I tripping? This is the same session. All right, hold on. Let me copy it to my computer. Is it hiding somewhere else? No, let me just copy it to my computer. Let me copy it in music. Boom. And let me put you in Logic. Boom. Right there. All right, it's gonna take a while. 13 gigs. Should be a few seconds. All right, so let's see if we can mess around with this while that session is copying. So for the bass, since I want to hear more strings, I'm gonna hit this. Right here at the 1.5K area right here, if you can see. I'm gonna increase this a bit because right now this is at 3.2. I'm gonna increase this just a bit. Do you hear the difference? As you see, by turning up the higher frequencies, the bass is standing out just a bit more. Just ever so bit. So much. Why is this still not copying? All right, bro. You need to copy. That's crazy. That's probably why it's not working. All right, hold on. Let me close this. Don't save. And let me open this session. Don't save. Okay, there it is. Window, open, main window. There it is. Let me bring it over. So it seems to be always there. So this is the session right here. Press X. All right. And let me make sure that you guys can hear that. Turn off VSX. Master VCA. Turn that off. All right, and now I'm gonna put this output to 22 and 23, or 21 and 22. That way we can hear it. All right, cool. So let me turn off the vocals because we don't need the vocals. Because we just need to hear the instruments. As you can, the bass is punching through now, completely punching through. What I've also learned is, as you see, my compression is first. Geez, all this stuff go away. All right, so if I press FN, look at my signal chain for the bass. It has also switched. So my compression is first and my SSL is second. So with the compression, it gives me the ability to increase the volume of the bass. And then after that, I can do a whole bunch of EQs and etc. So let me copy these settings to the other session. Don't close. All right, so this is the other session. Remember what this sounds like? Mute all of those. Mute the lead. No. File open recent. This one. Skip all of them. Fail to load auto-tune. Don't care, we don't need auto-tune. All right, and let's mute up background singers. Mute up the lead. All right, cool. This is what it sounds like. right here, switching this up. Don't worry, it's not messing up. It is not messing up at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to save the settings from the other one. Save this as a preset and call this new base. And let me save the kick as well. And call that new kick for the SSL. Save as, and call this new kick. And save that. All right, boom. So I can bring this back over, and I shouldn't need that anymore. You hear that? It's a big difference. It's a massive difference. As you see, the bass is punching through now. You can just look at the settings. Well, I mean, the settings wouldn't really matter if you don't have SSL, but depending on what you have, you can look at the frequencies and see, and just make the adjustments to your stream. So this is without the adjustments. As you see, you can hear the strings now. You see, it's the same thing I was telling you. The higher frequencies, so this is the high frequency. So this is around, what is this? 6.10K, and the high mid frequency around 1.5K. I push these up to like +3 dB because you want to be able to hear all the strings, like when the person is doing like the different movements of the fingers. I'm not a musician. The slaps and stuff, you want to be able to hear all of those online. So that's why you have to push those up. So let me make the adjustment to the kick now, so the kick can stand out. Hopefully it's translating well online. But in my ears, it's a big difference. It's just minor adjustments that make things stand out a lot. So you should be able to hear it online. The bass you can clearly hear, and the kick you can definitely hear, because they're not competing on the same frequency anymore. They're not canceling each other out. Do I have that snare? I'm sorry, I haven't messed with this template. I mean this session in a while, so that's not the snare that I use. I use a different snare. What is it? Is it a funky snare? What's the snare I use? What is the snare? Is this the other session? Okay, 15Z3. That's what I use. 15Z3. Why is this one so much louder than the other one? I think I have to redo this entire session because I don't know what's going on with this one. 15Z3. 15Z3. Alright, cool. So before, what I did also with the toms is I put the high pass filter. I put the high pass filter a bit higher because the toms 1 and toms 2 was like a little too bassy, so they were like at, let me just show you. I'm trying to explain. Boom. Yeah, they were at like 70, 80, so I just put them at 100. So none of the low ends of the toms cut in to the bass and the kick either. Let's see if we can find a different song. Go back to the beginning, go back to the beginning, go back to the beginning. Okay, there's a lot of transients over here. Oh yeah, that snare is tough. As you see, you can hear everything. Nothing is really competing with something else. Okay, let me play this same song and turn off the settings that I made for the bass and the kick. As you see, the bass is lost. The bass is out of here. Let me hear a different song. What's the first song? What is this? this is the perfect part. Especially those low ends. All right, let me change it. The kick is still gonna stand out regardless, but the bass is completely gone. It's just a slight hum. But make the slight adjustments, especially to the bass, so it could pop. It comes alive. Comes completely alive. Let me find a different part. Don't forget your note. Okay, there he is. There he goes. As you see, you can hear the bass and the kick very clear. Let me put them back. I'm very interested to hear that part. All right, before the settings, undo, go back to untitled, and the kick, go back to untitled. It's just slight. It's very slight. It's not as pronounced. You can even hear the vibration of the strings in the bass. So it's very important. It's extremely important to put some of the highs into the bass, because a lot of people think because it's bass, you're supposed to only concentrate on the lower frequencies, but that's not the case. You're supposed to also concentrate on some of the high frequencies, because like the strings and to hear the movement of the strings and etc. Those are higher frequencies. Those aren't the lower frequencies. And just make sure whatever frequency the bass is on, that the kick is not on, so they don't clash against each other. Yeah, that's you'll be pretty much golden. And you don't really need to buy fancy plugins in order to make these minor adjustments. if you're using Logic or if you're using what other DAWs, Ableton, Pro Tools, they all have like built-in plugins in them. So as long as you make those minor adjustments for the bass and the kick, your live stream should come to life a bit, probably like 2%. 2%. I mean, 2% is a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. 2% is a lot. Also, I found out that my vocals were too high. What's wrong with my auto-tune, bro? Whatever.
My Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. To see you high and lifted up.
All right. Here's a key thing that I've learned with mixing vocals as well. First, if you have multiple sopranos, make sure they sound as one. Well, first of all, they have to sound as one on stage before they can sound as one online. So make sure they practice. Hopefully they practice. If one soprano is singing another note, no amount of auto-tune is gonna help you. So they gotta sound proper live. Yeah. So, man, I love to practice mixing stuff like this. Of course, you can definitely practice. Because I'm still learning. Again, I'm not a sound guy. I'm more of a video guy. I just hate bad audio. So that's why I kind of do sound. as well. But my point is, before the live event, so if it's church, if it's a concert or whatever, you must have sound check. If they're serious, they will have sound check. I don't care how professional you are, even if it's Thai tribute, they have sound check. You must have sound check. So in sound check, the guy or girl, whoever is doing online mixing should be there as well. Reason being, you can mix out a whole lot of craziness in sound check. So when it's the day of, you're not scratching your head and fighting and trying to figure out what's going on and all that stuff. What I usually do is mix the sopranos first, make sure I blend them as one, then mix the tenors. I do soprano and tenor, and then after I bring in alto. You don't have to do that method. It just kind of works for me. I'll show you. Let's get them dry. Because the levels of the instruments are pretty good. So I can mute them and just hear the vocals. Keys mute.
My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you.
Well, that mic is cutting out.
My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you.
What I usually do, most of the time there's usually a stronger soprano. So if the stronger soprano isn't off, I usually mix the other sopranos around that soprano. And that just gives a bigger voice.
My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light.
I think that auto-tune is still working.
My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power.
I don't know why it sounds like that. It sounds like it's phasing. I don't know. But those are things that you're gonna discover during sound check, and you can check the mics and all that stuff.
My heart, Lord,
I'm gonna just fix these
open
levels.
the eyes of my heart.
You shouldn't really be hearing two voices either.
My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you.
Okay, so if you get soprano down pat, go to tenor, which is
My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. To see you high and lifted up,
Hold on.
shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart.
Okay.
I wanna see you. I wanna see you. to see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you.
Okay, the effects might sound crazy, but online you need effects. The reason being, especially if it's a live show, you have things like natural reverb and etc. because it's a big space. You have natural reverb. Online you don't have any of that. It's just dry. So when the instruments are playing and when the musicians are singing and you don't have any type of reverb or delay, it can sound jarring. So let me play it with the effects and without the effects with the instruments. So this is going to be without the effects with the instruments.
My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you.
And with?
I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy.
So the effects causes it to have a bigger sound, a much bigger sound. So remember the key purpose of mixing for online is to make the online audience feel that they're in the venue. You don't want it to be like entertainment, to be like watching the show. You want them to feel like they're there.
My heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Take me out. I want to see you. To see you high and come lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love. Pour out your power as the people sing holy. As we sing holy, holy, to see, open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see. I want to see you. I want to see you. Take me out. To see you high and come lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love. Pour out your power as the people sing holy. As we sing holy, holy, to see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love. Pour out your power and love to see you high and come lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love. Pour out your power as the people sing holy. As we sing holy, holy, to see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love. Pour out your power and love to see you.
And it's that simple. I hate to use the word that simple because it really isn't. It's really not. It's simple if you're like obsessed over this thing. But All it really is balance. That's all it really is. A good mix is a balanced mix. That's all it really is.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you with my heart, Lord. I want to see you. I want to surrender my heart to you, Lord. I want to see you. One more time. Come on, sing it till you believe it. Oh, open the eyes. Open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart. I got to see you. I want to see you. Oh, I got to.
Is there a different song? What's there?
I want to see. Holy, holy, holy. Amen. Saying, nobody.
Also, in order to get a bigger sound as well, get some crowd mics. Trust me. Get some crowd mics. Crowd mics is going to save you. It's going to add to it, the ambiance.
Nobody said. Nobody greater than yes, come on. Let's sing the part again. Said I searched all over. Searched all over. Couldn't find nobody. Has anybody looked high and low? I looked high and low. Still couldn't find nobody. Nobody great. Nobody great. Nobody. Nobody said. Nobody greater than yes, come on. Let's sing the part again. Said I searched all over. Searched all over. Couldn't find nobody. Has anybody looked high and low?
Bro, you can hear that bass, bro. Let me, just for science purposes, let me turn the bass back to what it was before, which is, I guarantee you won't be able to hear the bass like that. Let me put back the bass. Oh, also remember, bass compressor first, EQ after. That works out the best for the bass. Everything else, I don't know. It's up to you. But compressor first, EQ after for bass. So let me do this. Undo. Let's have them clashing again. Boom. Boom. Undo. All right, let's see.
Nobody said. Nobody greater than yes, come on. Let's sing the part again. Said I searched all over. Searched all over. Couldn't find nobody. Has anybody looked high and low? I looked high and low. Still couldn't find nobody.
See, they're clashing. So they're canceling out each other. So you can't hear the bass like that. And the thing about this EQ, is that it prevents you from pushing the bass all the way up. Because some people, myself, when I wasn't hearing the bass a few weeks ago, very recent, I used to be pushing up the bass, and I used to be asking the front of house engineer, like, where's the signal? Why isn't it sound? I can't really hear the bass. All you have to do is tweak a few things in the EQ, and the bass is gonna stand out, and the kick as well. So let me put this back. As you see, I'm not pressing or touching any volume levels. All of this, wait, was that the same? Let me see. Oh, I just increased for the right there. Yeah, I'm not pushing up the fader. So new bass and kick. Boom. New kick.
Nobody said. Nobody greater than yes, come on.
The fader stays
let's
the
sing
same.
the part again. Said I searched all over. Searched all over. Couldn't find nobody. Has anybody looked high and low? I looked high and low. Still couldn't find Everybody looked high and low. Still couldn't find nobody. Nobody great. Nobody great. Nobody great. Nobody greater than you. Nobody greater than you. Come on. Let's fill the room with it one more time. Said I searched all over. Searched all over. Couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low. I looked high and low. Oh. Still couldn't find nobody. Nobody great. Nobody great. Nobody. Nobody great. Nobody greater than you. Nobody greater than you. Can we just sing that line again? Yes. Nobody great. Nobody great. Nobody. Nobody great. Nobody greater than you. Nobody greater than you. All right, church, I got another one for you. Yes. Come on, repeat after me. See, your name is above all names. Your name is above all names. You're worthy of all praise. Worthy of all praise. Mighty are the works of your hands. 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 Your name is above all names. Your name is above all names. You are worthy of all praise. Worthy of all praise. Mighty are the works of your hands. Mighty are the works of your hands. Do you believe that mighty are the works of your hands? Mighty are the works of your hands. Say mighty, 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 mighty. Mighty, 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 mighty. Oh, mighty, 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 mighty. Mighty, 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 mighty. He's mighty, 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 mighty. Mighty, 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 mighty. Oh, he's mighty, 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 mighty. Mighty, mighty, mighty. Say your name is above all names. Your name is above all names. You're worthy of all praise. Worthy of all praise.
I was just playing with the floor toms. Because I don't want it to sound too muddy, you know? Is it possible for you to share the multi-tracks for me to practice mixing? Oh yeah, send me an email. Send me an email. I can send you the multi-tracks.
Mighty are the works of your hands. Mighty are the works of your hands. Mighty are the works of your hands. You're mighty. You're mighty. You're mighty. You're mighty. You're mighty. You're mighty. In all your ways. You're mighty. 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 Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee.
I have no crowd mics, bro.
Come on, sing it, church. How great he is. Come on, sing it. How great.
How do you use compression on your drums if you have a subgroup for drums? So, the drums are going through, if you see right here, they're all going through bus 3. And bus 3 is right here. And I have more compression on bus 3. And bus 3 is going through bus 51. And hold on. Oh, this is bus 5. Bus 5 is extra if I want to put extra stuff on, like the drums and whatnot. But bus 3 is going through bus 51, and bus 51 is an extra bus, which is all the way over here, and it has more compression. So that is making sure that the drums isn't getting out of control. Does that answer your question? I just use the stack group to keep everything together. That way, if I'm like moving from side to side, I can like stack all of these together and get to the bottom quickly. That's all the group is for. I just usually keep the groups at 0, so it isn't affecting the overall mix.
Thou art. Come on, sing your song. And then sing my soul, my Savior God, to thee.
You see, there's a big difference if the vocals are dry versus effects.
Raise that one more time. Then sings my soul. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art. How great our God is. How great thou art. Then sings my
Hold on. So in grouping for the drums, the compression being used is for dynamic. Yes. Yes. Well, the grouping is the dynamic. To control the dynamics of the drums is usually the buses. That's why there's a whole bunch of buses right here. The grouping is just for me to be able to go from one end to the other quicker. So that's all the grouping is for me. And order, so I don't get mixed up. Because if I don't have grouping and something crazy is happening down here, I'm gonna have to do a whole bunch of extra scrolling just to get down here. Versus if I group everything together, like vocals, strings, and drums, I can get from one end to the other quicker. So that's why I group. But controlling the dynamics is all the buses.
To thee, come on, church. Oh, how great thou art. How great thou art. See how great he is. How great thou art. And how great has he brought you through danger seen and season unseen. How great thou art. And how great thou art. Summer.
When you buy the Luke Henderson template, do you get all the templates? Yes, you get all the templates for Pro Tools, Logic, Reaper, and Ableton. I don't think you get Studio One. But I can reach out to him and see if he would include templates for Studio One and get back to you. Or you can reach out to him as well. He's pretty responsive. But again, that template, the Luke Henderson template, is a good foundation because remember, Bethel Church does contemporary Christian music, so the settings for that is like different. If you're doing more black church gospel, you're gonna have to do a lot of tweaking, but the foundation is there and it's a pretty good foundation to start with.
And winter, and springtime and harvest, and sun, moon, and stars in their course.
I don't know why my auto tune isn't working.
What will they do? They'll join with all nature in man and manifold winds, all to.
I'm logged in. All right, whatever.
Mercy.
I mean, they don't really need auto tune.
Oh, great. Oh, great is thy faithfulness. And every morning you get up. And all I have needed, think about what you need. And all you needed, God's hand has provided it for you. So sing your testimony this morning. Great is Lord unto me. Let's sing the chorus one more time. Oh, great is thy faithfulness. Great is. He's been faithful. So faithful to us. And morning. Brand new.
That soprano's a beast, bro. Funny thing, she's not even a soprano. The best way to understand compression of vocals, or in general, I've been told and come to some realization in my own experience that compression is so. Oh yeah, compression is very important. Because how I came to learn compression in the beginning, I've learned that compression only squishes your vocals. Then, after months and months of research, I've actually learned that compression can actually push or pull your vocals behind something or push it in front of something. So, with the compression, I usually use it not only to contain the vocals, I also use it to push it in front of the instruments, because you want to be able to hear all of what the musicians are saying, you know, not the musicians, the vocalists are saying, because the message is important. You don't want what they're saying to be drowned out by the instruments. So that's where compression comes in clutch. And it's, if you look right here, I have like, that's one compression, two compression, that's a EQ. So there's two compressions on each vocals. Two compressions. I don't think the compression is on the, no, it's not on. So there's only two compressions. This one isn't on. And with this, you can hear every single thing that they're singing. So yeah. And what I do with the lead vocal, I just compress them a bit more or give him a bit more gain so he's on top or in front of the background.
Think about what you need. So sweet, sorry, Pastor, to trust in Jesus and just to
That's it, really. This is a different one. that's about it. That's some more stuff to do. If you got questions, let me know. But that's what I've learned. I'm just sharing what I've learned. Again, I am not a sound guy. I just hate bad sound. So you guys can do probably a way better job than me. Way better. But those are some of the things that I've just come to learn. The keys are very upfront. Is a result of a faster release and slower attack on the compression. Let me see. Usually I don't even touch the keys when it comes to compression. Sorry for all the questions. Just trying to get all I can from those more experience. Oh yeah, you can ask me all the questions you need. Because I'm learning myself. I'm learning myself. That's how I came back here today, because of yesterday. I learned to not have the bass and the kick on the same frequency, or the toms. The toms can't be too low as well. You have to do a high pass filter, but the high pass has to be a bit higher, like around 100, so they can cut through as well. That way you don't have to push up a whole bunch of stuff and have your mix all haywire. Let me see the keys. The keys are in front, probably mostly because of this right here. Why isn't this together? All right, whatever. There is a compression on the keys as well, the CLA. So this is this compression. And remember, the compression pushes things in front as well. So there's a peak at, like, what is this? 46. What? Where's that? Right here. All right, cool. I can't. All right, 46. And the gain is at like 40. So when the keys play now, see? Also, what you will come to learn is different compressions have a different sound signature. All compressions don't sound the same. Because if I was to get a different compressor, let me see. This is, what compressor do I have? What other compressors do I have? Let me see, LA2A. Audio units, waves, CLA. Let's do 3A and turn off the, and let's try to set this at the same exact, what's my gain, 40? So that's probably like 4. That's like a 4. And what is my peak reduction? That's like 46. So 4.6. It's like a 4.6 here. Four. 0.6. All right, yeah. So 46. 4.6. 4. So this is kind of like the same thing. So turn that off and have that play. See? The keys sound different. And if you turn that off and turn this one back on, depending on the situation you're in, you can have both of them on. If you want them keys to be a bit more punchy and to hear every time he hits the ivory, then you can have both of them. I wonder why this one is more to the right. I don't know, that's something I gotta figure out. But yeah, that's the compression. Different compression has different sounds. So honestly, you just gotta play with it. You just gotta play with it. I like this one because this is very similar to the Teltronics compression. It's kind of like a replica of the Teltronics. Because if I was to actually put the Teltronics, I don't know if my audio interface will act crazy. Universal audio. Where's Teltronics? UAD Teltronics. LA2A. Yeah, see? It's very similar to this. It's almost the same thing as this. Kind of the same sound and etc. No plugin. Boom. Boom. Questions. I can answer all your questions. I can tell you how much I've learned and etc. Just keep them questions coming. The API is a good compressor as well. Yes, the API is a very good compressor. I usually don't solely depend on API though. I usually mix it with other things. Because even if you were to look at my vocal chain for this live stream, let me pull up Universal Audio. If you were to look at this, I don't even have API. I thought I had API on this. What? I have so many plugins, I usually just mix and match. So this is what API looks like. One of them looks like. Oh, this is why I don't like API. This version of API, you can't do increments. You see it jumps from 2 to 0. So that's why I usually don't like API, like to use API. It sounds good though. Don't get me wrong. I just can't make those minor adjustments with API. If you find a way to do that, then I will try to use API again. But that's one of the reasons why I don't personally use API. Let me remove that. Out of my signal chain. Approach for mixing bass, EQ, and compression. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's what that's the key tip. That's this key tip that I was referring to when it comes to mixing. That's what this whole live stream is about. Mixing the bass and mixing the kick. So the bass, what I've learned recently, yesterday, that's how recent, is you must put compression first. Then you put your EQ. I found that sounds the best. So let me switch it and you'll see how different it sounds. It's not as punchy. So if you have your compression first, also with the compression, you can gain it up and etc. Right now, this is at 40. Then after that, that's when you can EQ it. And with the EQs, whatever the low frequency is here, so as you see right here on the bass, it is 241, and on the, it's -2 on the low. Make sure you don't have that same setting on the kick, because they will start to cancel out each other. So on the kick is 225 and it's -3. So the bass is in front or on top of the kick. So I'm cutting out a bit more of the kick, so two of those things don't like cancel out. And what's very important for the bass as well is that you play with the higher frequencies. Bass isn't just low mids and low frequency. You must play with the high frequency, like the high mid. So anything around 1K, you can bump that up a bit, as well as 5K. Bump that up. Because if I was to revert the settings, all right, so let me put this to 0. That's 5K. And let me put 1K back to 0. And you hear the bass now? The reason being that you bump up those higher frequencies is so you can hear like the strings. All the strings, every time he's hitting the strings, you can hear all of those in the higher frequencies. Those aren't in the lower frequencies. So every time, if someone is like doing slap, you'll be able to hear those cut through a bit more on the live stream. So that's why it's very important to hit these up, bump these up a bit. And you don't have to have SSL to do this. These are all the same frequencies. So even if you're using like a Behringer X32, you have the same EQ. Well, not SSL is not going to sound the same, but you have the same EQ frequencies. So you can bump up those frequencies at 1K and 5K for the bass. Yeah. That's how the bass will cut through the drums, and you hear both of them at the same time. Other questions? I think Waves API has more options compared to UAD. I don't know. I don't think so, because UAD has different types of API. Because let me see. If you do this, and if I do API, you see I have API channel strip legacy. There's like a set of API that you can get, and a lot of them look different. I think you can also double click one of these to switch it. Is this legacy or is this the... Yeah, let me remove that. And just get the API channel strip. Oh yeah, type. So with type, you can do more adjustments. You can do more adjustments here, 8K, 10K, but it still jumps. So there is no 10K or 12K. this is just what API does. This is just what it does, you know, and I hate it. It sounds great though. I just need some of those. I just need a bit more capability from API. But if you use API and it sounds good, because I have a client that does live streaming as well, and on her vocal chain, she uses API instead of SSL. So whichever one works for you, use it. What I use is not set in stone. Let me see if I can change my mic now. This is the Rode. Let me change to the U87. All right, so this is the U87 right now. Previously, I was using the NT1, and this is the U87. As you see, the U87, even though it's the same channel strip, it just acts differently when it comes to these plugins. I had to adjust them a bit for the NT1, but the U87 is a beast. It's just a beast of a mic. So, yeah. Again, it's learning. The principles of audio is the same, you know, when it comes to compression, EQ, and etc. The principles shouldn't be changed, but what type of compressor you use, what type of EQ you use is all subjective. Whatever sounds good to you makes, because everyone has their own sound. Like when I do video, I have my own specific look. Like when someone sees my videos, they see that, okay, John did that because it looks a certain way. So it's the same way as audio. When someone hears something, okay, this person mixed that. This person has a specific mix. He likes to compress a lot. He likes to push the vocals in front. Or this person likes a lot of bass, or more detail in the bass, more detail in the instruments, and etc. It just depends. Let's see. Thanks. I'm currently working with the X32, so I will definitely look. Yeah, just look at the EQ, the EQ on the X32. Once you make those small adjustments, you will see a big difference. It's gonna be like 2%, but 2% is a big difference. 2% is huge. Also, I like to, what I've learned, I've also liked, I can't even talk. My mind is racing. What I've learned is that when you put like reverb on the snare as well, it cuts through. Because if you listen to the snare by itself, it'll probably sound weird with the reverb. Gosh, Doc, go away. All right, so let me mute. Oh, they're in a group. Can I solo? No, it solos everything. All right, so I'm gonna have to get these out the group first. Snare. No group. That's without. That's with. Again, without. It makes a big difference. As you see, it doesn't sound like it has snare. I mean, it doesn't sound like it has reverb with everything else. It just sounds normal. Those minor adjustments make a big deal. It makes a huge deal. Oh, saw that already. How does this? I didn't. How does it sound on YouTube? That's one thing I didn't ask. How does it sound on YouTube? Because remember, on YouTube, hit the gear and make sure stable audio or stable volume is off. Make sure that's off. Because if that's on, YouTube is going to do weird stuff to the audio. It should be in stereo as well on YouTube. Hopefully it isn't coming through mono because I'm seeing my levels and my levels are in stereo. So it should be fine on YouTube. Give me confirmation that it sounds good or okay on YouTube. Sounds okay on the live stream? Okay, cool. That's all I have. That's all I have. I gotta record some more stuff and do some more mixing. Remember, in order to get better, you have to practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes because God knows I've made a lot of them. Tons of them. But that's how you get better. There's something in my hair. It's probably from this rag. Yeah, don't be afraid to make some mistakes and just make minor adjustments. So the same thing as in video, You don't make a drastic leap or a drastic change. So if the exposure is off, you don't turn it all the way up. Or if your iris is T8, well, it shouldn't be even T8 if you're streaming, but if it's T2.8, you don't go like 2 stops up, because that's going to be a drastic difference. So the same thing with audio. You just make minor adjustments, small little adjustments, and those small little adjustments will stand out. They definitely will stand out. Are you using Ecamm? I'm using Ecamm. I am using Ecamm to live stream. And I do have it in stereo, so you should be hearing it in stereo. This I gotta get rid of this towel. Yeah, OBS is known to compress audio. It doesn't do a good job when it comes to audio. Even if you mess around with the bits and the bit rate and etc., OBS is just known to mess up your audio. So when we changed from OBS to Ecamm, or if you're on a PC, you can use vMix or Wirecast, you're gonna hear a difference. You're definitely gonna hear a difference. Yes, sir. So hopefully this was educational. The same way yesterday was pretty educational for me. Shout out to that front of house engineer. Yeah, he definitely taught me a thing or two. So I'm just sharing it with you guys, and hopefully you guys can make those small little adjustments as well and see a big difference in your live stream mix. If you have no other questions, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds for more questions, because I know there's a delay online. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. No? Good to go? All right, cool. So if anything pops up, if any other question pops up, you can comment down in the comment section in the replay, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So yeah, appreciate you guys for joining, asking the questions, and us learning together. So I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.